Just last month, the first unsafe levels of GenX were found in a homeowner's well in Robeson County. That discovery initiated more testing and a call for the community to come together to talk about the potential harmful effects and what should be done next. But before that meeting happens next week, I took a closer look at how this man-made compound ended up in drinking water miles from where it's produced. The facility, located on the Cape Fear River near Fayetteville, has been in the headlines since at least June of 2017. That's when the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality and the state's Department of Health and Human Services initiated an investigation. At first, this issue was thought to be limited to groundwater that was supplying people's faucets. But now the contaminant's been found in more places, and experts say the problem goes beyond the water supply. Calder Road has access to county filtered water, but some homeowners who live there say they just prefer the taste of well water.
We've been there 41 years.
And after all that time, Wayne Baker says he may now have to switch over to Robeson County's water system because of concerns over a chemical compound called GenX.
Don't know exactly what to think. Don't know what it's going to do if we keep drinking the water, but we want to have a test so we know what to do.
Robeson County Health Department officials have been proactive about this situation, doing their own test on private wells and other bodies of water when they figured out that their county was not included in the state of North Carolina's investigation into Chemours, the facility responsible for producing GenX.
Don't know what kind of health concerns we've got coming in the future. Like I said, this has been on this source of water since I've been here.
Baker says whether his well tests positive for unsafe levels of GenX or not, he and his family switched to bottled water as soon as they heard their neighbor's well did have elevated amounts, making the water undrinkable.
Well, I'm going to be upset, but I mean, what can I do about it, going up a big corporation like that?
GenX is a part of a family of man-made chemicals that do not naturally occur in the environment. And officials like Robeson County Health Director Bill Smith have been left to figure out how this compound ended up in private wells miles from Chemours.
It's not an easy science.
But this issue goes beyond the groundwater. The North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality has issued a notice of violation to Chemours. Officials believe that the smokestacks from the plant are depositing GenX into the rainwater, spreading the compound beyond the facility's site.
It's been an evolving situation over the last 9 to 12 months. Obviously, this started as a river quality issue, transitioned to a groundwater issue. When we found GenX compounds in private drinking water wells off-site in the groundwater, the question was, how did it get there?
Michael Abrazenskis, the director of the Division of Air Quality with NCDEQ, says the agency believed air emissions played a role. But at that point, they didn't have the data to prove just how significant the issues were. In court documents, the state claims Chemours lowballed their emission estimates when they reported to the department in June of 2017. And what the agency discovered is that actual air emissions were 33.6 times higher than what Chemours told investigators at the time.
A company at the very center of chemistry. A company that puts you at the center as well.
At the center of a complaint filed by the state of North Carolina that claims Chemours has possibly put human health and the environment in jeopardy.
That's our chemistry. Chemistry that leads to fundamental change.
The consequences of that progress could take years to reveal themselves and could expand beyond the 7-mile radius from the facility that experts have discovered so far.
But you're talking about things that have happened in the laboratory that we don't know what's happened to a human yet. I think GenX has been around less than 10 years. So if it's long term, we're talking about liver cancer 40 years from now or 50 years. So it's hard to undo the contaminants at that point.
Chemours has responded to the state's notice. In a letter, Chemours representatives say they will spend more than $100 million to implement new technology that's expected to reduce air emissions of GenX compounds by 99%. The letter cites why Chemours believes this compound is so important to their continuing work. It says materials produced at the Fayetteville facility are critical to the state's and the nation's economy. It goes on to claim the U.S. military, automobile industry, and many others could suffer severe shortages and could be forced to turn to suppliers from China or other foreign nations without Chemours' work. I tried to talk to representatives at Chemours, going to the facility with my photographer, but we were turned away by a security guard just outside the gate. We did see signs, though, posted and telling people bottled water is available for them. And we got a better understanding of just how close the facility is to Robeson County and the private wells tested by the county's health department.
All we wanted to do was be part of the discussion. If the problem's over here, we wanted addressed here too. So it's not that we're unique. I'm not so sure it wouldn't be in some other places, but we just wanted to be part of the solution.
I also tried to reach out to Chemours through their media email several times, and I never got a response back. But we do know more about some of the changes Chemours is making this month and in the months that follow in regards to GenX air emissions. You can see that full list of other changes happening because of the state's investigation on our website, WMBFnews.com. Just find this story under the Investigates tab.